Hello, it's a beautiful day again, and for me, every day is a blessing. Is it the same for you? Well, if it is, then you're welcome to the show again conversation because you'll be getting further blessings as we speak. I ask myself, what was life like growing up? And I told myself, it was fun. There was a lot of rules and regulations in my child's mind. I remember when I went to do one or two things and I found myself with some people outside and I kept smiling. I was quickly reminded that a lady is not supposed to laugh too loudly outside the house. Well, I'm taking you gradually into what we want to discuss today, social ethics. And of course, it means your space, my space, your freedom, my freedom. Where does it stop? Where does it start? And I have an area of coaches in the house. Yes, coaches and experts. Let me start from the journalist who has had a lot of experience. Sometimes I call her the coach in the female world, but I know she's a journalist. Let's share your.
Well, good morning, everybody, and happy 2023. I think I'm on TV for the first time this year. It's good to be alive. It's good to be well. My name is Devan Mom, and it's a blessing to be here with you this morning.
Okay,
Good
coach.
morning. Good morning,
Another
everybody.
coach.
Yes, another life coach here. And my name is Tokumbo Giwamu, and I'm a life coach. I'm a productivity life coach, and I always say to you, be you to the full. It's a new year, and let your values guide you in everything that you do. And we'll move on, and we'll grow to a better space this year.
Definitely will grow. Coach Tai Tai, actually Titi.
Yes, Titi Ojo. I'm a business and communications coach, and I'm always excited each time I get an invitation to be on this show. Because it's a time to talk about the real issues
Yes.
that affect us as a people,
Mhm.
as a community. It helps us to build the quality of life that we really wish to see,
Definitely.
and that will make Nigeria a better place to even live.
Exactly.
So I'm very excited to be in the midst of all these coaches, and today I'm looking forward to the conversations. I can't even wait.
And Coach Didi.
Hello, my name is Maimuna Umi Abdullah, aka Coach Didi, and I'm a mental health coach. And I'm always pleased to be here.
All right, so I'm the only person that is not a coach. Don't worry, I'm a coach in the house. All right, I'm tempted to say we'll take a break because that's usually the norm. But before we go into that, I would want us to share a bit of what we did as children. I tried to open up mine. I remember, growing up, it was always a long walls and protector. We're not allowed to go out. So the day I was told that jam result was out, so I was very excited, and my parents felt okay since you're going to go into the university, you should learn to go out on your own. So I had cousins, they were boys. We all went out to the jam office to check results. Then there was no internet. I don't know if you had internet.
No.
Okay. So we all went on our own to check. I didn't know my father was really uncomfortable. So he still followed us without me knowing. He was in his car. I didn't know. We got there. I passed. I was very excited. So excitement on the road. You talk extra. You laugh. Even when they didn't make you laugh. Just fresh air will make you smile. You passed jam for crying out loud. It
Yes.
wasn't that easy as it
That's a
was now.
miracle.
Yeah.
So I was laughing when I got home. I got the carrot and the cane. The carrot for passing exams, the cane for misbehaving outside. And ask me what my problem was. I was laughing with my mouth wide open. The
dear.
whole teeth was outside. And you're supposed to be a lady, So
I actually didn't know that was a thing.
that was the only crime I had. So it's
Yeah.
expected as a lady when you sit down, you sit like this. When you smile outside, you don't smile with your mouth wide open. Those things. And today, I find those things missing. You go to a place, a lady is sitting down, sitting like this, sit like this in
That
public.
one, you get a cane.
I'll tell you
With
something.
with your
Something
legs
slightly,
together.
slightly different
things like that.
from this, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm an only daughter, first of 5 children, 4 boys after me. My dad's a military man, and my mom always used to say, you know what, I'm not going to spoil you. So I was in the kitchen, I went out, I went to the market, I sold, my mom had a poultry, so I sold eggs. I carried the eggs on my head, and I sold, and I went to the market. And then I went to Queen's College. So that had to groom me from being the almost wild.
Yeah.
Because I had to be used
The
to
exceller
Yes, exactly.
to the queens.
Because I had to be rough on the road, going to the market,
Mhm.
in the Keja, going to the market on the road by myself. I probably was about 8, 9, 10.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
exactly.
You were hawking at 8 and 9?
yeah, well, it wasn't really hawking because I was,
The
it
more
was in my
delivery.
environment per se.
Mm.
So it was just like a home training,
Yeah.
bringing you up to say, look, life is not as easy as it is inside the house. So
Right.
you have to learn to do the things yourself.
Mhm.
So in as much as I did that and learned that, I could fight anyone. I mean, not fight physically, but I could stand my ground.
Yes.
And then I went into Queen's College where they taught you to sit, like you said, like a lady.
Eat
talk
with
like a lady.
cutleries.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So
that
I'm-
one is different because my dad had to, that one my dad taught us from home. So those basic things we learn from home. Eating properly, sitting properly. So in Queen's College, you taught to talk properly, to smile, speak when spoken to. You're the one that stretches your hand out, not the person stretches. So all those kind of little things. So in both ways, I learned the two sides, but both from my home and both from school. So I just learned. So those little values and things that we learned growing up guided me till today. And now I know that, you know what, I have to work hard at what I want, and I have to stand for what I want, and I have to be courteous, you know, all those things, values and beliefs that you learn while growing up.
How was it like for you in Kano, right?
No, Mina, actually.
Mina,
I think
okay.
I was raised by my mother, and being a woman who was raising 7 children, she raised me to be strong. I remember one day I came back home crying. I was, I think, 7 or 8. A boy in my neighborhood bullied me. And my mother said, and you're coming back to cry. Like, seriously.
Yes,
My mother told me
let's
to
go
march
back.
back.
There you go.
Go back
Go back.
to that guy. Yes. No, she didn't say fight. Just go and get it. Make it right. I went and stood in front of the boy's
Right
house.
is
I didn't know what to
fighting,
do.
no?
No.
So I,
Stand your ground.
so I went and knocked, and then I spoke to his father.
Yes.
And his father beat him right
Very
in front
good
of
in
me.
front of them.
And then when I came back home, my mother said, "So what happened?" I said, "I went to report it," and I said, "Well, come back." And she opened the
Very
door.
good.
So I was raised to be
That's
strong. I was raised to feel good about myself, and the fact that I was a woman doesn't make me smaller or limit my world. I think, and that's the best thing I can. Every day I thank God for my mom, honestly, because she raised me to be resilient. Because in the world we live in today, without resilience, almost you're done.
Honestly, and I want Coach Didi to speak into it because a lot of times there's something you said, you know, incidentally for some people it's different. I recall those days you get beaten, you know, outside, you come back home, maybe from school. I hear my father will tell you, rather than coming to cry, somebody beats you. My father will tell you, whenever you get into a fight, make sure you're the winner.
Yes.
Beat the person.
Exactly.
Let them come to my house. Let me be the one to say, sorry, do you need paracetamol? Sorry. But let it never be heard that my child was beaten outside. You see, there are different things. They say, I want to know, what is that thin line between being a lady without being weak?
That's interesting.
Yeah, really interesting.
Woo. I think, first of all, the impression. For a long time, I think culture had made us look like we were the weaker ones. And I'm glad that we've been liberated from that, at least gradually. We're being liberated from that thought that says, as a lady, don't even raise your hand, don't do all of that. And those days, too, you'll agree with me that some ladies wouldn't go to school. That was the way it was.
Yes.
When people even had sons and daughters, it was the sons that would go to school. The daughters never went because they felt your own role is to stay at home, take care, cook for your husband. When you get married, eventually someone is going to pick you. But over the years, that has been challenged. That particular notion has been challenged, really, because now women are now we are now strong. We are the ones taking on leadership without even thinking twice. We are breadwinners. We do our work. We are very intelligent. So gone are the days when anybody would just cheat you as a woman. You would think twice. Even in schools, you see the girls are the ones getting the positions.
Yeah.
Every time I go to my son's school, it's the girls that are getting the position. I'm like, what happened to you boys? I don't know what's going on here. The girls are they're more on the honor rolls than the guys are. In fact, there was a day my husband raised that thing at home, like, why are those girls the ones taking all the prizes?
Maybe they're just being nice to the girls.
So it just tells us that girls are we now have that respect, and then if we need to also now respect ourselves.
Yes.
That's
Do we
it.
really have the respect?
We also have to respect ourselves. So if somebody sees us as a weaker vessel and because of that wants to keep bullying you, thinking you cannot raise your arm,
You know,
you have to challenge that notion straight up.
they always say you do make a point. Say somebody say you dress the way you want to be
Yes.
addressed, And sometimes those of us who are in the workspace, we feel if we shout, if we talk, we make more, yeah, impact. But let me go to Devon. You were once in politics. I don't know if you're even out. And it seemed to
Once a
be
politician,
Always.
always a politician. Yes, I didn't want to say that. I wanted you to say it
I know
yourself.
for my dad.
So I know that a lot of times some of us think politics is tough. Politics is a dirty game. Politics is a push me, I push you thing. I don't know if it is. I've never really gone into partisan or very active politics. But you I know has not changed. You've been a lady right from time, and you seem still to be that prim and proper lady. How did you manage to do politicking without losing your ladyhood, so to speak?
The thing is, sometimes I hear people describe me and I want to meet you.
Describing you.
Yes, yes.
I want
Because
to
this
meet you.
prim and proper person you described is not me.
Okay.
Growing up, I was the wildest tomboy you could find anywhere.
Uh-huh.
It took the grace of God for me to bath.
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
Oh no.
You'd
love
have to
that.
hold me down and scrub me, and every bathing session ended with screaming and crying and cursing and everything. I thought I was Bruce Lee. I would fly out of trees and fall on top of
Wow.
people. I was wild. I loved trousers. I liked my hair cut and everything.
Mhm.
That's me.
Now, that part of me is still hiding there somewhere, you know? Like, I'm on Facebook doing my thing, and then somebody comes at me sideways, and I'm like, please, don't come here and embarrass your husband. Please don't do it. So I'm like, I've already typed it, then I'll be like, no, Romy will read this thing, and so then I'll cancel it, and I'll be like, please don't say that to me next time. The next time you say that, I'll block you. So my default setting is one wild little animal that's inside being suppressed. I managed to suppress that during the politics too, because in politics, if you allow your wild side to come out, a lot of people are going to get hurt in a very bad way. Yeah. So how I did that was simply by thinking, this thing I'm going to do now, or that's going through my mind, what will be the repercussion, especially for my husband who is holding government office and all this, when they'll hear this kind of scandal. Yeah, his wife went and paid some people to go to get arms and go and kill some people somewhere. Blah. It rubs off on him badly,
Right.
and he's in the
We
public
your
eye.
children.
And then the kids and all that. So those are the things that actually help to keep me in place. And then, of course, my parents were strict. Most parents of back then were strict. They were strict without resorting to brutality, beatings, and things like that. They didn't choose to do that, but they have their ways of keeping me on the straight and narrow. So till date, if one bizarre idea enters my mind like that, I'll be like, oh no, my dad will be rolling around in his grave if I do this thing. My mom will probably resurrect to come and address, So you have those things that hold you back and help to keep you in check and all of that. It's not because I'm naturally inclined to being prim and proper and nice, and no, that's not my default setting.
So that's where
Wow.
your
It's
values and your beliefs come in.
Yes,
Yeah.
I see a lot of
Yes.
family values. You still answered my question correctly when you said those values, you hold them and you try to suppress them.
Exactly.
So it's important we mix up with the right people, including parents, because whatever value they impact on us, we always have this force to retaliate when we are, hit by something. But remembering who you are, who you want to be, what you represent, the people you're going to embarrass, very importantly, the office you're going to embarrass, very importantly, we all try to calm down. I want to take us on something that my winning team took their time to put together, and that's the table manners, because we want to talk about this. It's important. But let's quickly look at this. Dairo, are you ready? Can you roll this for us?
Table etiquette is one thing most people learn early in life, informally and sometimes formally. Society and culture may differ, but the basic table manners remain the same. Let me show you some of them.
Do not place your bags, purses, sun Expose your soiled paper towel for other diners. It shows that you are dirty. Thank your host very nicely and never forget to genuinely compliment the meal. Drop any air of entitlement.
Table manners are proof of good home training and must be deployed for all social situations. Let's rejoin our guests in the studio.
So we're laughing because we caught everybody here hands down. Okay, if you know you go to ceremonies and you pack even if it's snacks, raise your hand.
Bring snacks to yourself.
Yes. Okay, you're
They have
raising
nice
two.
I'm
snacks.
raising two.
You're raising two. Okay, one for Tokumbo.
No, I'm not raising anyone.
If
Actually,
they,
I'm not raising anyone.
if they have the kind of nice snacks that I
Yeah.
can wrap
If-
in
if
my
I'm given,
paper,
I will take.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I will not.
I did take.
So that's
As long as it's in the open
Yes.
and it's not reserved for somebody
Yes.
and I'm entitled to it.
I will
If I ate that
I-
snack
you
and
will
I
wrap-
like
yes.
it,
I will
taking
eat while
some-
I'm
But I have
there.
a special bag for those kind of occasions.
Oh, you carry special bags.
Yes, it has to be a big one.
Oh my God.
You carry a bag that has some
I won't
space
even do any.
inside.
If you're, some people take doggy bags for their dogs, that's fine.
Yeah.
But
And
I don't have a dog, so
yeah,
I'm
you
not
get
going
different
to.
kind of dog.
Some with donuts. The dog that eats donuts. Okay,
So
so
the other ones in the house.
no, but apart from snacks, like you said, if I attend a ceremony and the host offers me a takeaway,
Yes, I like it.
if I can't say no, usually I don't like to. So, but if he insists, I'll carry it, even if it's to give to the security man. It's okay for me.
Yes.
But then
About-
there are
yeah.
situations where women deliberately go for functions with extra bag,
bag.
Yeah.
usually a big one, and food reserved
They
for
just keep-
other tables. They keep
I
turning
know
them
that's
down.
not good now.
They keep turning it down. You know.
That's not good.
So it's embarrassing. The other one again I observe, I actually kind of like that stuff because most of us do not quite get it. You go for a function, somebody is eating, food is packed in your mouth and you're talking. It spills, some of them spill, and then when it spills on the table, you now tell me sorry. If you even
that's
remember to say sorry,
disgusting.
especially men. Men, you know, they are
No man
talking,
gets to
they are
defend themselves.
excited, they are eating, they are also talking at the same time. Meanwhile, we never learn to take it small. Yes, some men will call me out, but it doesn't matter.
Yes.
The men who always want to take more than
No.
they can chew. You know, maybe the ladies because of our lipstick, so we take it slow a little bit.
That might be it, actually.
Maybe exactly.
Have you had such experiences as well?
I have
I have quite a number. Especially when you go for parties and it's buffet time. Dear
Oh.
Lord, that's the worst part.
a mountain of food.
Dear Lord, and the plate is mounted just like the video we just watched. And you're wondering how will all these things even get together in your tummy? I'm wondering.
Let me tell you a confession actually. So for me, if I call my husband, right, I will serve him and I'll serve myself.
Okay.
So guess what? This place is nice and very full, and
Mm.
my own is nice and dainty. It's just sweet. And we sit, of course, we're sitting next to each other, and I'm eating this food.
Oh wow! For the
So,
serving,
exactly.
you serve as
So
if
I'll
it's
serve
just
him,
him
exactly. So I
eating
serve
it.
him nicely, nice large meal, and he'll be complaining. And even I'm a sweet tooth, right? But I really won't do that. Show myself outside. So when we go out, he come and serve the dessert. He doesn't do sweets. So he takes for himself, and I take for myself. But they're both for me.
Oh Lord, you
So-
found your way
Yeah,
around
so that's-
this.
I think I do that as
You
well.
see, the
I do
reason
that.
why-
Or with my friends.
Well, for
if-
the dessert actually,
Yeah,
but
or with my
we
friends,
both don't
so-
eat much, so I don't really put a mountain of food on my plate.
Yes,
But for
I
the
wouldn't
dessert,
tomato, yeah.
he's not a sweet tooth. I am, so I make sure I get a dessert for him,
There you go.
which is actually for me,
Yeah.
and then another plate for myself.
Exactly.
I feel as if one reason why sometimes people end up with bizarre looking plates. You see, we don't ordinarily eat 3-course meal anything in our
In our homes,
traditional
yeah.
normal way of eating.
Yeah.
You eat food, you drink water, you leave. Highest maybe a fruit or something.
Mm.
But Oibo standard meal is 3-course meal.
Yeah.
Starter, main meal,
Yeah.
dessert. And they bring everything out at the same time. So people come out who don't understand this concept of this,
One
and
at a
this,
time.
and they discover that, oh, I actually like cake. Oh. Let me put it by the side of this jollof rice.
Yeah.
That ice cream isn't
That's
too bad.
scary.
I'll just scoop a little bit, put it
Okay.
inside this, and put it here. Then because they don't know that You are supposed to do the
eat.
starter
Yes,
first,
yes.
then
Go
come back
back
and take your
again.
lunch. And
Yeah.
there's also the mental fear that if I, even
If
for
I
those that
finish,
know,
Yeah.
they
I
they
won't
think
get
that
it. I won't
if
be
they wait to do it step by step,
it
Don't
will
go
finish.
round
while
it.
you are still there struggling with
Somebody
your
else
cake,
has
somebody has finished
the one you want.
starter, gone to main meal, and it's already on dessert. And by the time you get to main meal, the rice, abi the pounded yam, abi whatever is already finished. So they just pile everything onto the plate at once and come and sit
Oh, you
down.
know
Trust me,
another
it happens
thing.
like that all the time.
When
Yeah,
when
it
we're
does.
talking, we're talking about so home training, right? So when we were young and you're going for a party and my mom feeds us, and we'll be angry because you know you're looking forward to the food
At the
at
party.
the party. So you
Party
already
jollof.
eat and you're
Ah, my
full.
sister.
So I'm already used to the fact that when I get outside, I can't even eat. So I just leave the food, just take a little bit. You're used to it. So those are little things that you grew up with. Knowing I say, don't you have food in your house?
That's
I
it.
wish I was raised that way because I once went for a wedding. Because when I'm going for an occasion like that, honestly, I go hungry. Because what's the point?
Really?
Exactly.
I'm supposed to go there to eat.
Yes.
But on that particular occasion, I went hungry and came back home hungry.
Oh dear.
It was as if my village people.
Yeah.
You know when they send them to you,
There's every
they kept
occasion
on
where that
passing
thing
me
happens.
with the food,
Oh
and
my
then
God.
she
You didn't
was
buy
on-
Ashebi.
I didn't wear a shape.
You didn't buy.
I didn't buy a shape. I think that was the problem, and then I couldn't say anything, and my stomach was
Oh
growling.
dear.
Honestly, that was the last time I went for an occasion without
Without
eating.
eating.
So since then, I will make sure I
right.
eat something a little,
Little, yes.
and then leave room for the one I'll go and eat there. But
Exactly.
never would I go hungry again.
I think one thing I've tried to teach my boys though is if you go out to wedding any event, you don't get food. And when I see them squeezing their faces, I'm like, cool down. We'll just branch out and eat as we are off.
Yeah.
So I go in, I will buy. So I just make them know that it's not a do or die
There's
affair.
something about everybody
Yes, I
got
do.
something and I didn't get.
Yes.
It rankles. Even if it's hanky or 50 naira that they distributed
I know
and you are that
something.
person that didn't get it, you could have the one of 2,000 in your bag. There's just something. Is it me? Were they
Did I
looking
do
at my
anything
face?
wrong?
Did I
Yeah.
do something wrong? Why did that woman pass me twice? Is
Maybe
there
they,
just keep
maybe
going
they
on
told
in
her
your
don't
mind?
give that.
Maybe they said
And you've
they
been
shouldn't
calling
give
it
you.
just keeps
And
passing
You
you
understand?
by.
So there's just something about
I-
not
I-
getting something when you go to an event that just leaves you.
For me, not getting something
Rubbed
isn't a
off
big
the
deal,
wrong
honestly.
way.
Souvenir is not a big deal for
It's
me.
not. I'm just
Yeah.
even
But
food,
food is a big
anything
deal.
at all that
Yeah.
goes
Food is a
round,
big
and
deal.
you are that one person that didn't get it. Even if it's this tiny water, you feel it.
True. You know. So let's move away a little bit from food because the truth is that whether or not you like it, the stomach infrastructure business. If we don't control it in public spaces, it will always give us away. I want us to look at what you mentioned earlier. You mentioned it on the passing, but I took note of it. That when you have to stretch out hands, it should be you offering your hand. These days, I notice men will meet you. I know my friend and my sister here from another mother, that's why she has a different skin tone, will always complain about men shaking her hands and doing something like this in the middle. Are you still getting it?
No, that was when I was young.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I think that was a
Some
long
guys still
time
do
ago.
it.
Yeah, they
Some
do.
guys still do it. I
some
guess
guys
they're
still
just
do
used
it.
to it.
They shake your hand and do
Yes.
like this. It's
So
irritating.
Well,
It's
alhamdulillah.
rude.
Being Muslim, honestly, I really don't have that.
Yeah, I mean, like you don't
problem.
even know how privileged you
Yeah,
are.
we don't shake hands.
There's nothing I hate
Yeah.
worse
Shake hands,
than
so.
that unsolicited hug,
Oh,
especially from a guy. I can't stand it. I've even had to go on Facebook and I said, please don't default set. If I want to lean in for a hug, I will lean in for a hug. I mean,
Yes.
I was at an event with my husband one day, and a complete stranger walked up to us, greeted my husband, and gave me a bear hug.
Oh, Jesus
And I
Christ.
was like, I was just like this till the thing
Frozen.
finished. And luckily, it was even my husband that invited me to the place. So he was just standing there helplessly staring at this guy and wondering why the guy thought that was necessary. My husband didn't know him. I didn't know him.
So
You know,
that's-
he,
yeah,
I guess
why?
he thought
So
he was
I
being
think this has to
friendly.
do with like there's culture and there's religion as well.
Yeah.
So
Right.
like I said that it's not what's the word now? It's not ethics. It's the British or the English people. So
Right.
you learn that way. So you stretch your hand out as a lady.
So when
However-
there's a lady and there's a man, the man should not stretch out hands to
So
shake.
that's what I'm saying. So this is also culture, right?
Right,
So
right.
so the original people
Mm.
of this, the original owners, like the English people, say the lady should actually offer her hand.
Yes.
But however, I realized that I didn't know this that Muslims didn't shake.
Yeah, we don't
No,
say
they
that.
don't.
No,
So
Absolutely.
I mean, I was work one day and I stretched my hand out, and
To
So
shake a
somebody,
lady.
yeah, no, to
A
a
man,
guy.
a guy.
So
Opposite
somebody
sex.
had to whisper to me that, oh, they don't shake. I was like, okay, is he praying at the time? Is he? But I didn't say anything. However, also what you're saying, where my mom is from, in Rivers, and I'm sure because some other parts of Nigeria, it's culture. The greeting is hugging, right? It's hugging.
I've noticed that
And
thing.
yes, so
It's a southern thing.
Yeah.
yes,
Northerners,
So-
most times we don't, even women don't really like bare hugging each
Yeah.
other like that. So it's a cultural.
And you have to even know her.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
I
can't hug
exactly.
everybody.
For
Even
me
when you
as
know each
well.
other, it's usually side hug,
Yeah.
not the
Yes.
full
Not bare
frontal.
hug.
I can't do without you
Also-
kind of hug.
Also,
And
also it's culture because in my mom's place, the hug is front. And it's not a big deal to them. So
Yeah.
what you're used to is not a big deal
Yeah,
to you.
absolutely.
But you know, if you're not used to it, because side hug, I don't think I learned side hug until I was maybe university. Then when people start saying all sorts of things like, "Are you hugging somebody in the front?" I was like, "Oh, really? There's something to it." So otherwise, yeah. So now I'm used to the side hug. But otherwise, if I go, anybody from my mom's place comes to see me, and they're like, "Boom," that's what they say. Like that's a greeting.
yeah, that
You
it's
know,
warm and sweet
yes.
and
Okay.
everything, but I don't want
think-
it from a stranger.
I think
I know.
also, you've said a lot of things about the culture, religion. I feel that exposure is very important for every
Yes,
one of us to
exactly.
understand this.
Yes.
Because if someone is so used to one side of this whole narrative, you just think a beer hug is what everybody wants.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
The bear
also,
hug is-
and beer hug, sometimes you give someone a hug and you can see that resentment. And there was a time I was at an event, and I think then I was much younger, the fellowship then. They say hug sisters or something, hug yourselves. I noticed the next time they just said sisters hug sisters, brothers hug. Because some sisters didn't like that. Oh, excuse me, opportunity to come and be bearing and hugging me. What kind of rubbish is that? There were issues around that actually, and later on, the narrative changed from sisters hugging hug sisters the brothers. There was even no hug at all. Just handshake or high five. I said, okay, now they're
High
beginning
five
to
is
see
good.
the issues
Hug.
here.
Yes.
I tell you. So really, exposure
I
is very
know, right?
key,
You hug now.
and being sensitive to the environment as well, being observant.
Yeah.
Because you might not have traveled the world and all that, yeah, but even in your office space, you might, if you're observant, oh, this person say, okay, I hear that this guy doesn't take a handshake, and you might ask questions, interrogate certain things. As people, we need to interrogate circumstances too, like, oh, why is this person not hugging, or why is this person not giving a handshake? Then you get to know, oh, is the religion okay? So religion plays a role here. So observation is very important. We need to be very observant, especially when it comes to social issues.
Yeah, and then boundaries.
Yeah.
There should be boundaries.
Yeah,
I need my personal space. It's not just about hugging. There are people who want to talk to you and they come in your face.
Yes.
Thank you.
Like,
it's really
yes.
bad.
Guy, please, babe, boundaries.
a little
Just step a little, because
Yeah.
everybody feels you just need to have a personal space. You can speak to me, but there should be a little space.
Yes.
And I think people don't understand that. I have this friend, Amarachi. She's the head of school in Abuja here. And I remember one day I went to her class. She's not a teacher, but that day I think the teacher was out of the school. And she was taking that class. And I remember where it's profound for me is I couldn't forget it. That little girl walked up to her and said, Miss Amarachi, please, can I step into your personal space?
Wow,
A
that's
6-year-old child. She said, yes, you may. And she came in closer to her and she talked to her. Now, these are things I think we need to teach.
Yeah, it's important
kids.
because a lot of us feel when we get too close to someone, it shows we like the person
Exactly.
so much. How would you want to talk to me and there is no space?
Yeah.
Number one, I don't know what you're carrying in your mouth. You could spit on me
Yeah.
and give me an infection. That's one. Two, yesterday I was talking to somebody, the person wanted to talk to me, like it wasn't even a secret, but he was getting too close. And all I could perceive was alcohol. Your breath is bad and you're talking into my nose.
Oh Lord.
And I'm very quick to say, please step aside. I have a right to my fresh air.
Yes.
You cannot come and pollute. It's not proper. You should be able to give a space, between you and somebody when you talk. It's very imperative. Because you can tread disease, you too can catch disease.
Yeah.
So
and
it's
then another point, I recall there was this place I worked one time. This was before I got married. Everybody,
So
please,
notes.
so please take notes. And there was this tall, light-skinned, very handsome guy, and he was a southerner. So this thing we were saying about how southerners are all into the. So my first 2-3 months of working at the place, I was quite sure that he had a lot of girlfriends in the office. That was
And that wasn't the case.
Hugging everybody. No, that was if he needed to, let's say, borrow like maybe a flash drive for me. Maybe
Oh my.
Last one sports.
That's you see
Why
that
do you want
flash
to
so.
touch me? I hate that.
No, but the girls were not
don't touch
complaining.
me.
Oh yeah, you
Like
get
that's why I
it.
made a point of mentioning that he was fine. The girls were not complaining.
Even,
and
even
he
if you're Mr.
No,
Hunt, please
hang-
talk to me. Don't touch me.
hang
Well,
on,
the girls
I'm
are not
going
complaining,
somewhere,
so
I'm going
that is a good
somewhere.
one.
You know, so he had this way of getting everything he wanted from all the females in the office. He'd come and sit with you and be like, "You have fun now. You're looking nice. You're just looking shaggy. You have fun." And then say, "I suppose collect this from you." So maybe you're not even done with it yet. You're so bamboozled.
That guy,
lucky
that
that
guy is
you have someone
cunning.
in the office.
That
Then
guy is
he'll take
cunning.
it-
Straight up.
He will
It's
take it
cunning.
to finish his work. Maybe even hang on to it. So if your own work will be hanging in the sky, you're not yet done, and then your line manager is like, "How far you're supposed to have finished that work 3 days ago?"
Say,
Oh,
Mr. Honk took
oh.
it.
So he used to milk it dry. He didn't know how to just come and stand and say, "Can I have this?" No, he would come,
must be
he would
something.
touch your hair, then he would whisper in your ear. Can you
Amen.
give him that
That's such a person cannot
seed?
stand with you.
That guy is cunning.
Yeah, because I will tell you straight up as hello, excuse me, move.
And he'll politely say, "Oh, I'm
Straight.
sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." You know, he would be so polite and everything, and then the next time he'd be like, "Happy, how far now? How far?" No, that's a CD, that flash. And before you're like,
That's
Move on
a
to-
twist.
and the thing is, he was
Yes,
he
But
did not, he literally
that's
didn't
him
have
being
any
a guy,
girls
but you know
time
that's
in the
being
office.
coach. That's
He
being
wasn't
rapport
getting
building.
anybody in the
He wasn't
office.
getting
The physical
anybody,
aspect
okay.
of it is maybe the problem, but that's basically rapport building, isn't it?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Because when you really want people to do what you want them
No,
to
he
do,
was
Oh, yes.
you
manipulative.
have
That's
to be
all.
able to give
That's
them
the word
He
I
was just
wanted to
manipulative.
use.
nice to them.
Yes.
He was just
Communication, yeah.
I think
manipulative. He
he
knew
was
how to use
manipulative.
what he wanted
Yes,
to get
yes.
what he, and he wasn't dating any girl in the office. He didn't have time for any
I
girl in
wonder
the
where that
office.
came from.
Literally, the only
Yeah,
time he would do that thing to
it
you was
comes
when
from
he
a
needed
place of
something.
insecurity. A lot of us women are insecure with our personal appearance. So once you get somebody who
They're
tells
showing
you,
some
your hair is
attention."
nice, you fall for it.
But I'm thinking of the guy, not the lady. Because for me, like now, I tend to move away from, oh, she was wearing this or she looked like this. Where did he get that from? How did his mom? Because when she started, I was saying maybe he's a last born, maybe he was a mommy's boy or something.
He must have done it accidentally for one person and he walked.
And he worked.
And it
Or
worked.
primary
And
school
then-
And it's also
teachers,
possible that I was raised that way. Maybe
Yeah, he was raised
you
that
always
way.
have to use manipulation
Yes.
to get anything. Where you are, even your mom will manipulate you to get what she wants from you.
You
Like,
do have
come
a
here,
point.
my
I
son.
told somebody, a little boy, he's 8 years old. He said I was going to buy him Christmas gifts last year. I said I will. So we had an agreement. He failed on his own part, and I said I wasn't going to give. He said, "Mommy Lizzie, you are going to give me that thing." I said, "How?" He said, "I know how to make people give me what I want."
Oh.
That boy was just 8 years.
Sorry about it.
Anyway, some people are writing. Let's take some things here. Good morning. You said no answering of calls during eating. Yes, I accept. But what if it's an emergency? Emmanuel from Nasarawa State. Well, does anybody want to answer that?
If it's an emergency, you answer.
Yeah,
That's the one.
That's why it's an emergency.
Exactly.
Emmanuel, that's why it's an emergency. If you're eating, your phone should be down.
Yeah,
If you're a
it should
doctor,
be.
you're on call. You should
Yeah.
have it open so that if somebody calls and it's emergency, you pick it. But you initiating call on your own on the
Right.
dining
Yeah.
table
Yes.
is a no-no.
Exactly.
You checking up browser or whatever on or
that's it.
Instagram or all those things is a no-no. I mean, there was a time we all ate without food. We didn't have GSM.
Yes.
So why are we finding
Especially food
difficult
all
now?
day.
You
No,
know?
but in fact, eating,
With your
that,
phone
that
on the
one
table.
is even better than I'm talking to you,
And
I'm engaging with you,
And you're
and
on
you're
your
like,
phone.
Yeah,
"Mm,
that's a no-no.
that's I mean like that cuts so deep, especially if you started playing with your phone after I started
Yeah,
talking to
absolutely.
you. It's a no-no. and
Just
it's
shows you're not
unnecessary.
interested in.
It's
rude.
a
Or
diss.
even
rude.
go
It's
for
totally
That's what I was gonna say.
you go for an occasion. Some people even in church, the pastor is preaching,
their phone
the
is-
imam is talking, you're pressing your phone, and
It's
I'm like,
something
can't you? Is your life dependent on
Yeah.
it? Can't you give some people respect?
Yeah.
If you were standing in front of maybe your boss, you're seeing him one on one, you will not touch your phone.
Yes, true.
When you go to church, you cannot respect God and drop phone for 1 hour. 2 hours, whatever it is.
Yeah, they're
You know,
doing Facebook.
but
So
also
what's the
another-
point of
another
going
thing I
to
would say
church?
is that
you can
You're never
see-
listening
yeah.
because you're
First of all,
disconnected.
like we said, it's
Exactly.
rude, but also like we talked. You said, for example, it's an emergency. Courtesy demands that. Excuse me,
Yes.
may I?
Mhm.
This
This is an
Please, may I?
emergency.
Exactly. So,
take this
so
call.
then that's okay, but not hello. I have to take this call. No,
That is
You
if
know?
you say I have to take this call. Hello, somebody is talking to you. Your person is now, the mouth is open. You have started answering call. It's rude,
Yes.
especially on a dining table.
yes.
All right, so let's read more. It is very good program. Okay, somebody is commending you, but I think you need to find way of stepping it down in the wider society, schools, because the manner out there now is very very low. Kukama from Yola, it says that we should take this topic to the schools to teach them. I remember you just mentioned something about it. A young girl who says took care of this thing, permission to step into somebody's space. I wish everybody, all the schools will get to do that. Good morning to you all. Greetings to my auntie journalist, Bevan. My late mom hates bringing things from places to us, but I learned other things. That's a Semba from
Sunday.
from Tunga Mache. I think that should be from Benue State. It
No,
says,
Tungamaji is not in Benin State, but the name is a Tiv name.
okay. All right. So he's saying that the mom used to bring things from for him. I think all our moms did,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
growing
my
up,
mom does.
but they never brought rice. We used to
No,
get
no,
an
no.
egg
No.
and the
Daddy.
egg, groundnuts.
Yeah, things.
Wrapped inside
Apple.
tissue pepper.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Fried
Easy.
meat.
Yeah.
No, when they share
yeah,
it around,
yeah,
they
yeah.
take their own portion and put inside polythene bag or tissue or whatever, or foil,
Kids.
and put inside their handbag.
And bring
But
one.
not turning the food on the table.
No, no,
Ah, that one is
You know,
no.
that's a no-no.
That's a
Or
no-no.
you go to a buffet, you're scooping inside your plate, you're also scooping inside food flags. It's
Ah.
a no-no.
Really?
Some people
Yeah.
do it.
What does that mean now? Is it that you
They
don't
go
want
around
to go
with
through
it.
the stress of preparing
Yes.
dinner that day or
You
what?
Well,
don't
maybe.
understand.
Yes.
So this party is going to feed my family, even though they're not allowed to show up.
Some
I get that
people,
have
some
a
people
cooler in the
just
car.
find out where it is happening for a weekend. You invite them, you don't invite them, they crash the
Yeah,
case.
for sure.
Sometimes they actually dress up. I was at an event in Lagos last year, some group of women, they actually had a uniform, Ankara. While we were seated down after eating, they walked in like 6 of them, carrying handbags. I thought they were coming to do a show, straight to the buffet table and scooped food and went away.
No way.
It happens. These are not small girls.
You know,
They are
so
women.
for me, we're talking about when you were at school. So growing up and learning process is very important. First, from the family, like say, train your children at home before you bring them to school. There's little things.
Of course.
So
of
the little
course.
things that you have taught, I said my dad would sit us at the table, teach you to use your fork on the left. Till now he does it with anybody that comes into the house. Fork on the left, library, and so on and so forth. Those basic things. And then you get to school. So I remember that my children went to school. The schools that
You
they
see
went
why I
to
refuse to eat in your house? They gave me food in their house and they gave me cutleries.
Ah, you're like, oh Lord.
I went for my spoon.
rather-
I ate with my spoon.
Well, so,
Don't get this wrong.
I can only eat with fork and knife outside, which is spoon. And if I had to do swallow, I won't eat swallow outside
Wow.
because I have to use my hands.
Yeah.
So I won't eat swallow outside, no matter what. I will only eat in my hands.
But I use fork to eat swallow.
That's what I'm saying. I'm used to it.
Okay, you
With the
understand.
hand. Okay.
So
It's
so
not,
another
it's
what
not
I'm
as
saying, it doesn't go in.
Oh, Lord.
The satisfaction is not the same, right?
It's not the same.
Well, what can we do?
want
What
to
can we
Larry
do?
too.
You not go enter well,
You go
well.
enter. Maybe it's not my
You
house.
go
You go enter.
To eat swallow with your hands.
With a fork. Cutlery.
You see, Gary, don't call it swallow. That's when you call it swallow, it's English. Eat eba, Gary, whatever it
Pounded
is,
yam.
with your hand.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
Nigerian food.
Exactly.
But you know what? I was in
And
my
it's
village
eaten with your hand.
this
Do
January.
you understand?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I ate my Canadian with my hands. But if I was eating at home, back home, my house here in Abuja, actually use fork. Actually.
Really?
But in my
use
village,
fork when
with,
I'm
if you see
taking
pounded well
semo
vegetable
sauce.
soup, I forgot that one. I like drink water. It was nice. It was
nice,
really
right?
good. It was really good.
Even in the schools, I was going to say my children's school, they went to Corona, right? They take like once, probably weekly or something, but they're in boarding house on the weekends to sit you down and teach you table manners. And they actually make you bring clothes from home, so you're dressed properly
That's right.
for a dinner. and how to talk and eat and sit and excuse yourself and things like that. So you learn those things and they stay with you. So what you were saying is very important that we continue in that line. Whatever school, no school is a, what should I use? No backward or local or no.
Yeah.
Because
Schools
we're all
should
going to face the
actually do a lot
outside
of,
world.
Yeah,
school
because
is a
I
school.
went to a missionary school run by the
Oh yeah, that
British
is definitely.
nuns,
Going
and
to train
they
you
taught
right.
us how to sit down. They
Yes.
taught you as a lady how to talk, and the one that actually made me a little bit, I found a little bit funny was they were not married. Reverend sisters got married, but they actually taught us how to treat a man right. So I was wondering how were they able to get this, because they know that we have potentials of being married or
Right.
becoming a nun as well, like them.
Right.
So if you're going to meet the world, you needed to do certain things
Interesting.
to make a man happy.
There's
You
a
know,
balance.
we were taught all of that, and like
Sorry,
you
can I ask a
said,
quick question?
go ahead.
How did you know how to make a man when they're
Okay, let's read the question.
They have family members
Let's
that
not
are
leave that
married.
hanging in the sky.
Yeah.
Let's
You
not
can-
leave
you
that
can learn
hanging in the
that.
sky.
And
First
even
of all, they
people
come
they see.
from a cultural
Yeah.
place
Background.
as well.
Yes,
yes.
None of them dropped out of the
From the
sky.
sky,
Yeah.
okay.
You've gone through the world to a certain extent. You yourself, you've already received some home training in cultural values and things like that before you entered the nunnery.
Right.
You are not going to lose all those things because you are now a reverend
And they
sister
also went
or
to
a
school.
nun.
And
So,
you're taught.
they've
and
studied,
then
but-
of
Yeah,
course you also
taught.
have the Western etiquette and whatever it is. It's just the basics of be respectful, be
Right,
courteous,
respectful.
do this, do this.
Very
When it
important.
comes
Those
to
two
your
dressing.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, the Reverend sisters will tell you then, as a woman, you don't wake up and tie up on your chest.
Why?
They
Yes.
say no.
It's not
So
good,
you must wake up, take your bath, and before your husband leaves home, make sure that he sees a pleasant you.
Yeah.
You know, so that the memory goes
Yes.
on in
Throughout
their
the
brain.
day.
And when he's coming back, if you have been very busy or sweaty, clean up and make sure you look good as your husband comes in, and welcome him. You know, those were the things we were taught in school. Anyway, good morning, beautiful women. Thank you so much for making my day with the program. Mostly, I love the fact that you ladies are so real. Keep it up. Thank you, at Lizzie added. And I don't know, let's read. I thought there was a question. Let's see if we have more questions to answer. Good morning, everyone. Don't talk when you are eating. It's very important. My girlfriend challenged me almost every day because of that. But it's in me already. Festus, you're writing from Lagos. It's not in me. You can stop it. I know, right?
You can unlearn it.
Hello, beautiful coaches in the house. Good morning, all. Please, I just want to learn how to sit like a lady. As I'm watching you right now, I'm trying it, but it's difficult.
Just practice crossing your ankles.
Okay, see,
Well,
don't cross
that's
your
true.
leg like this. If you're heavy set.
Yeah.
Even if you're not, because
Even
the
if you're
truth is, when you do this for a long time, you may give yourself, some pains, blood clot, which will eventually lead you to, having stretch marks, varicose veins, and all of that. The best way to go about it is cross your leg like this, at the ankle, just like you said. Does that work? Try it out. And when you sit that way, you can sit for a longer time. When this side is tired, you move it to the other side, and you're good to go. Yeah. And always remember your back posture. Sit up straight.
Like now, I was thinking I should drop the scarf, and I'm like, that's just going to be tidy on TV.
Yeah.
But because I was in church, I would take my scarf off. But I don't know where I should just go. Yeah,
Yeah,
so you
that's
cross your
true.
legs always.
All right, my name is Elayo Confidence from Nasarawa State. To be honest, the program is educational, especially the random approach. And for the first time, I'm knowing about starter, main meal, and dessert. Okay, thank you very much. And good morning. In all your discussion, there is a need for awareness that all human is created unique. Don't say, I hate that, and I will tell you to your face. I believe we should be civil. That's Charles from Akwa Ibom. Thank you, Charles. We have taken note of that. Let's see if we can take more. And good morning, beautiful ladies. Teresa, you were talking about somebody passing you with the food. Should you react, especially when you contributed to the food?
It's a very good. No, you shouldn't react. You shouldn't react.
Well,
You
that's Coach Didi. I would say politely draw their attention.
No, react. You said, well, maybe because I'm a coach, reaction and response are two different
Oh,
things,
okay.
right? So
Yes,
reaction
reaction
is not
is
something. Yeah,
defensive.
it's defensive, and then it can cause more mayhem.
Yeah.
But you can respond by just simply asking, please, could I have something?
Yes,
And
I
if
still
they
don't have anything,
yeah,
please.
if they still don't serve you, I beg, suck it up.
Yeah.
And as she said, go to the eatery. Or go back home and drink
Or
gari
go back
and
home.
drink gari kuli kuli.
Yeah,
or-
exactly. I'm talking your
And that
TV.
is very nice and it's very healthy. All right, is it good for a married woman to collect gifts from another man? This is a Elohim, a Vincent, physically challenged person. Okay, so I need somebody to.
It depends on who this other person
Yes, yes.
is. It's who is this person? Is it a family member of hers? Because some men get very upset when their wife collects gifts, even from their brothers or the father or anything. Oh, you want your family to know I'm not looking after you, kind of thing. So it depends on the nature of the relationship with this other person. If it is like a friend, don't collect.
I was going to say,
Don't
if you know,
collect.
I don't like collecting gifts from people that I know per se.
Yeah.
But however, I would say that communication is really key. So you know yourself. So we can't say when you're asking this question, I'm assuming that your husband doesn't like it already.
Yeah.
However, because if you communicate well with your husband, at least once you get something, whatever it is, so there's no secret. If you get a gift and you tell him, oh, see what this person gave me today.
Yes.
So in fact, I would even tell my husband, my prince, have you called him to say thank you?
The question has so many gray areas.
So for me, the undertone
Is-
there is
is-
that you already know that he's not happy with you.
Yeah, that's
Is the
So
gift
you-
for
so
the
we can't tell
family
you.
or it's for you specifically?
It doesn't
And why
sound
is
like
this
it's for the
person-
No,
family.
exactly.
That,
That's
that
not
question
the
does not
Okay,
sound like
that-
a family.
why is that? Is it your birthday? What has occasioned?
What's
So,
reason
in fact, the way you ask the
This
question,
person
we need
has
more
said-
information.
Yes.
The
To
truth
take
is
a
that
decision
is
on
this
this matter.
person.
So for me, I've already seen
Yeah.
that the husband doesn't doesn't like it.
So it's trying
No,
to get your
this-
approval.
So you don't want us
studio.
to
Yeah.
yes.
It's like
You know,
a
I
French
was
gift.
in
want
my,
us
in
to
my
approve
secondary
it.
school. I remember my principal, honestly, God bless that woman, Miss Okao. As a child from JS1 to SS3, every assembly, when we come back from school home and then when we're going home for holiday, she would say, do not take
Take
gifts
from
from men.
anybody.
So I think for a long, for men,
For men, okay.
for 6 years of my life, I heard her say that every
Consistent.
time. So it was like, you know, my subconscious mind registered it.
Now that you get people in the society, even for women,
Yeah,
they
no,
have to be careful.
yeah, no,
No,
wait,
but
wait,
the truth is, there is no free lunch. My mother
Yeah.
always
If
said,
you are married,
So if
don't
you're
accept
giving-
random gifts.
if you're giving and you're collecting, remember there is a
There's
payback.
some-
Yeah.
It's true.
My
So
dad
if
used to
someone
say-
is giving you a gift, ask him what is it for.
Yeah, motive.
I mean, there's always a motive.
Exactly.
That's
Yes.
Find out why they're giving you
Yeah.
gifts.
So
Even
for
if
me,
it's
with
your
what-
birthday,
with
why
what
is
she
this
said-
person invested in giving
Yeah.
you
I
a
don't
gift?
understand.
With what Coach Didi said, I always talk about my dad taking me to the university. What he grounded in my head was, don't take anything from any man.
Yeah, don't take any.
Don't take anything. Give to
It's
any
important.
any man. Anything you want, ask me. But on my own side, I always say that help didn't do me too well because it took me forever to even accept something from my husband.
Oh, that's okay.
But we used to fight in the house because you think your father can give you this. So I had to
He didn't get
learn
it.
that. So you say unlearn and learn.
Yeah.
Okay, so just before we go, there are so many questions, but I'm kind of very interested in this one.
Okay.
We'll talk about it for 1 minute. Somebody said, "Good morning." Now it's in vogue for ladies not to cook at home. If there is an event coming up, is this the right thing?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
No.
Women
If
don't
an
cook at
event is
home.
coming up,
Whether or not.
They are planning
okay, like
to
okay,
go
we'll
and
eat.
eat.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And generally, we don't cook at home anymore.
Really?
Most people
Yeah,
don't
most
cook at home
people
anymore.
don't.
I don't understand.
So that's
Which
why-
most
that's why
people
I
don't
thought-
cook
I
at
thought-
home.
So
Women
that's
don't
why
cook
I
at
would
home
say- I
anymore.
would
They
say
prefer
no,
to go
no,
and buy
straight up.
food.
Really? That's a treat.
Or order.
That's
or
a
order.
treat.
It's not a treat. I'm
Once in a
telling
while,
you
you go
that
out for a treat with the family, but you
nowadays,
cook in
a
the house.
lot of people wake up and go to transport to go and have breakfast.
Wow, that
That's-
must be
that's-
so comfortable.
Yeah, honestly,
Wow.
breakfast in Transcorp, how
Yeah.
many times a week?
Every
This
day.
transport could just be Mama put near your house.
That you didn't say, you didn't
No.
specify.
So for me, it would be a no, and I would always tell women or girls that get married. I say for me, the trick I do is I always have stew. I don't have stew, the same stew every
you can
Right.
turn stew to
So you
jollof
know what
rice.
exactly, and you can buy bread and eat bread and
In
stew.
fact.
You can fry yam and eat yam and stew.
Exactly.
You can do. So once that is there, you have it. So there's no excuse that there's no food in the house. So even if we're going to go out and I'm going to say, oh, my prince, we're going for lunch at this.
Right? Our
Yeah.
time is.
And I think one of the things that
practically
makes
up.
home is food too.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
should be
Food
left, that
is
should be leftovers.
there's something
Yeah, there's
about
always
food
leftovers.
that brings people together, that brings
Yes.
family together on the table.
We're going to
variety,
continue
it's
this
important.
topic, especially the aspect of it when it regards to why our youth are not employed, which is where I really wanted it to come in. A lot of things, conducts actually goes wrong at the point of interview, at the point of employment, at the point of internship. But at the end of the day, it causes the job we wanted. Let's say bye bye at this moment because my director is on my neck. Or me, I don't want to go, but then we have to go. We'll see you again next week. Please cook at home, eat at home. I eat as a family.
Eat as a family.
Don't collect gift from a man. Oh.